After successfully selecting the main players, Seigaku has already begun preparing for the Metropolitan Tournament. Even though he didn't become a formal team member, Akian wasn't idle. He began designing training programs for everyone. Everyone needs to distinguish the colors of the balls, then hit the ball accurately too. Go up the roadblocks of the same color. This requires strong dynamic vision and ball control. Suwen is one of the best players in the team. However, unexpectedly, Ryoma was no weaker than him at all. Both of them performed very well. Unexpectedly, Akian suddenly cheated, intentionally saying that the ball hit outside the game is yellow. But what outsiders clearly see is red. A moment's hesitation led him to make a mistake. And those who make mistakes, you must drink the vegetable juice that Aji personally prepared. Look at this color. Most of them are not drinkable by humans. Ryoma was stunned. Ajin once again disregarded martial ethics. They launched a sneak attack while he was distracted. Next, none of the team members escaped Akian's clutches. From this training, Akian discovered everyone's shortcomings again. He also specifically instructed Ryoma to drink 2 more bottles of milk every day. This is clearly a complaint about Ryoma's height. By the weekend, at the invitation of the pot-lit hairstyle, everyone went to his family's sports field to practice. The guy with the bowl-cut hair, Dad, arranged for everyone to play on court A. I didn't expect to have guests. The guest had a fierce look on his face. He expressed that he also wanted to play on the ball. There was nothing I could do even though I had paid for it. But we can only give up the venue. ATO also planned to go visit Rome and the others. Unexpectedly, suddenly a male pervert rushed out from behind. A bicycle rear-ended the car. The reason he was in such a hurry, it was to deliver a bento box to Ryoma. Ryoma's mother threatened him. If I don't send my son a lunchbox, they burned all his pornographic books. That would be terrible. My little yellow book is more important than my son. At this moment, Roman is torturing his friends. These years, the top-level players were no match for them. Suddenly, they heard arguing coming from the adjacent court. It turns out to be Dad with the bowl cut. I want the guests to warm up first. As a result, the customer absolutely refused. He said, I am a champion of the National High School Sports Competition. No warm-up is needed at all. Goodness, if you were an ordinary person, that would be one thing. Serious athletes, everyone should know the importance of warming up, right? He then mocked the father and son with the bowl-cut hairstyle. He is a pitiful person without talent. He can only work as a coach in a small theater. At this moment, a familiar figure appeared again on the sidelines. It was in Rome that Sasaki learned his lesson. He is the son of this troublemaker. Yes, like father, like son. Even Olma couldn't stand it anymore. You played so badly and you're still trying to cause trouble. I'm going to teach them a lesson. Saying, he wants to learn tennis from Sedampo. Actually, I was going to teach him a lesson. The match begins. Rome's serve wasn't as sharp as usual. The pot-lit head was very puzzled. I think Rome is letting the money go to waste. But his father immediately saw through Rome's style of play. He first tested his opponent's playing style with a regular ball. This is a demonstration of playing with your brain. Unexpectedly, Sudeb's brother was no ordinary person either. His ability to fill in gaps is extremely fast. Ryoma hits the ball into the corner. He could fight back immediately. Longmo was caught off guard. 2 goals conceded in a row. At this point, it didn't even begin. He proudly introduced his father. Someone called your dad a dog. Why are you so excited? Dog Bro showed off his gold teeth. He confirmed his identity. The reason he has this nickname. It's because he's good at pursuing. Like a hunting dog spotting its prey. Ryoma changed tactics. Active internet suppression. But little did he know that this was exactly what Dog Brother wanted. Hit the ball directly downwards. This is Dog Bro's signature tactic. First, they kept hitting the ball back. When the other party couldn't resist the urge to go online and suppress, deliver the fatal blow. Rome actually lost their own service game. However, to my surprise, he actually laughed. Time to show off. It's Dog's turn to serve. Rome surprisingly broke with tradition, quickly and directly hit the ball into the corner. This time, even Dog Bro, who's a pro at binge-watching TV series, didn't react in time. It turns out Rome had been warming up the whole time. That's why I haven't been serving from the outside. He realized that Monkey King wasn't good at net play. So he deliberately mocked Dog Brother for only daring to cower at the bottom line and pretend to hit a short drop shot forward. Dog Bro was so frightened that he immediately rushed over. Now the backcourt is completely empty. Roman scored easily with a high lob. Moreover, the fish rushed too fast. The dog also injured its leg. This is the consequence of him not warming up properly. That's all. Both the father and son, who were known for their footwork, were defeated by Ryoma. He caught me again. The following cheering rally team competition. There were a total of 2 doubles matches, 3 singles matches. The other 2 singles positions remain largely unchanged. That's Tezuka and Fuji. The key question is, whose third spot is it? The coach is also having a lot of headaches. Hating, Kao-chen and Ryoma are all strong contenders. Ryoma felt he wasn't suited for doubles. But Kao-chen was also unwilling. Give up the singles position. The two of them planned to find a sports field to compete against each other. However, unexpectedly, a stadium they found. There is only one to courtyard side, and it can only be played in doubles. They could have chosen to change stadiums. However, for the sake of the plot, even in doubles, you have to grit your teeth and go for it. The competition rules are a round-robin format. Ryoma and the tower paired up to play against other players on the field. The loser goes off the court and is replaced by the next group. This cycle continues indefinitely. Ma immediately served. The other person thought he was a primary school student. They didn't take him seriously at all. I was immediately taken aback by his topspin serve. Then he couldn't catch a single ball. Ryoma won the game solely with his serve. Ordinary small fire, no match for them. Ryoma and his team's performance, it quickly attracted the attention of the 2 strongest people on the side. They were called Kwon and Buchuan respectively. They saw it at a glance. Ryoma and the Tao had never played doubles. The coordination was riddled with flaws. So they aimed between the two and hit the ball. As expected, both Ryoma and Kao-chen wanted to receive the ball. They almost collided. On the second ball, both players assumed the other was going to receive it. Neither of them went to pick it up. The score is now 3-0. Rome's first doubles match. They don't even know the rules. As a result, the speed of light was defeated by the opponent. The 2 men, looking disheveled and dejected, prepared to leave. However, they suddenly discovered the doubles pair that just beat me. It turns out to be the doubles ace of Yulin Middle School. Yulin Middle School. These are Kingsu's next opponents in the preliminaries. They actually dared to mock Ryoma and Chachi. This successfully spurred Rome and Tao City into action. They decided to give up their single spot. I'll start practicing doubles from now on. The day of the competition arrived quickly. The Tao personally came to Rome's house to pick him up for the match. Because Ryoma and the Tao insisted on playing doubles, The coach is also having a lot of headaches. The recent troop deployments have all been disrupted. Qingdao's first opponent was Yulin. The opponent saw that it was Rome and Tao City playing doubles. They all felt they had it in the bag. Brothers, you guys have to play a total of 5 matches. Even if you win, it's all for nothing if we can't win the other 4 matches. Where does your confidence come from? I always feel that the characters in The Prince of Tennis, they're not very bright. The first match. The match is a doubles game. Ryoma and Tao Chen vs Guan and Fu Chuan. Ryoma started showing off as soon as he entered the arena. It means defeating your opponents in their strongest areas. That's why I chose doubles. Before the start of the match, Tao Zhen told Longma, "Today we'll be using the RN tactic. Because the name is too abstract, nobody knows what they're trying to do." The match begins, since Lin served first. This time they resorted to their old tricks again. The ball was hit between Roma and Cao Qing. Unexpectedly, Cao Cheng shouted. He hit the ball back directly. The two heroes of Yulin were completely dumbfounded. What's going on? They actually fought back. Qing Shu scored a point. It turns out that Ryoma and the Tao had set up a secret code beforehand. That's the so-called end tactics. And so, Ryoma and his team successfully overcame the middle ball. However, the two heroes from Yulin were still very experienced. They deliberately hit the ball behind Tao Chen, attracting Longma to receive the ball, so the two of them stood in a row. They could then take advantage of the attack. The other side with a weak defense. Just as they expected, Rome and the city of Ottoman were pursued simultaneously. They collided again this time. The score is now 30-15. Seigaku remains in the lead. The game continues. After serving, the two Yulin teams immediately launched a double net strategy, claiming he just hit the ball back. They were immediately suppressed by the Yulin team. The duo of Longma and Tao Qing. They still seem too inexperienced compared to the two heroes of Yulin. Yulin quickly turned the tide in the first game. The score is now even. Second game. The two heroes of Yulin still use the same tactics. Rome and the city of Tao again made a mistake in their coordination. Defeat once again. Both of them panicked. Infighting even began. Teammates also felt the two people from Yulin have such great teamwork. This match is most likely over. During training, Longmen and Tao Chen frantically shift the blame. The Dragon Rider coach was speechless. You two are so bad. Why did you choose to play doubles? The next two's coordination became even more outrageous. Zhu hit the ball onto Longmen's head. Ryoma hit the ball on Aiding's head. I can feel Su Fei was trying very hard to showcase his humor. But looking at this kind of tired joke now, it was indeed a bit awkward. Romo drew a line on the ground. Divide the stadium in two. He told Tao Chen to just focus on playing his side of the ball well. The two do not infringe upon each other's territory. It's like turning doubles into the singles matches. This lack of cooperation. Instead, it freed them from their constraints. Seigaku actually won this game. The Yulin duo realized their strategy was ineffective in winning this match. The dual network strategy was used again. However, this move was ineffective against the Zhulai duo who had broken free of their restraints. It's no longer effective. Escape with a signature smash. Shatter their fancy tactics. Seigaku gradually showed an overwhelming advantage. The score is now 5-2. Although the Yulin duo felt that King Su's fighting style, this is an insult to doubles. But unfortunately, their skills were inferior. All that's left is impotent rage. No matter where they hit the ball, they will all be beaten back by the snow, just when they didn't know how to deal with it. The clever little guy wasn't wearing it when he suddenly discovered, if you hit the middle of the line, wouldn't they then be unable to tell whose ball it was? Then he forgot about Rome at all and the tactics of art. Pan Chen shouted. They successfully saved the ball. At this point, the fishermen had no ability to resist. Perhaps they will win this game 6-2. Even if you win the game, the Dragon Rider coach still gave them both a good scolding. The two of them, I probably won't be appearing in doubles matches anymore. Next up is the ace doubles match by the master of special skills. I showed it to you. What is Seigaku's true doubles super? Huaben easily swept his opponent Liu Bi. Since even the strongest doubles team couldn't beat Seigaku. And that goes without saying for singles. Seigaku sent out Kaido-san, C for their first match. They defeated their opponent Liu Bi. So then by the guess. This guy saw that his opponent was Kawamura. Look at his timid and hesitant appearance. I thought he was a newbie. I didn't expect this guy to pick up the racket so quickly. He's completely changed. As expected, another Liu Gangling. That's all. Only Rome and Tao City are this comical duo. Our points were given. The first-year middle school student's strength completely surpassed that of Yulan. After the match, because the reckless and outrageous escape attempts were too extreme, the coach immediately suspended them for 1 game. The remaining teams, the only remaining threat to youth training is World Pastor High School. Their ace player, the drunkard, they actually used high school students as their opponents. Oh, I'll kiss you tonight. Yeah, you can tell he's a show-off too. However, to his surprise, the show-off was immediately arrested. The teacher's wife faced a match where she didn't go out to defend herself, completely crushed by the opponent. They were eliminated just like that. This little-known team, can it pose a threat to the King of Glory's kings? We'll talk about that next time.